A new energy standoff is unfolding in Europe. Slovakia is threatening to pull the plug on Ukraine. Prime Minister Robert Fico says if oil transit is not restored, electricity supplies to Kyiv will be suspended from February 23rd, and the fallout could ripple across the region. Fico says Slovakia will halt electricity exports unless oil flows through the Druzhba pipeline resume. He warned that if supplies are not restored by Monday, he will ask Slovakia's grid operator to stop transmitting power to Ukraine. Calling Slovakia a proud and sovereign country, Fico signaled that Bratislava will not accept what he describes as one-sided relations. The dispute centers on oil transit through Ukraine. According to industry sources, Ukrtransnafta halted crude deliveries to Slovakia and Hungary earlier this month, even after technical issues at the Brody pumping station were reportedly resolved. Hungary's Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó accused Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy of blocking supplies to create political pressure ahead of elections.
And then there is one more thing here that for now, Tapo, I'm observing cautiously because a significant portion of the electricity supply from Hungary, a significant amount of electric power, is also going towards Ukraine. This is serious, so if we stop this, then very serious things could happen. In any case, the Slovaks put this on the table yesterday. We are negotiating with the Slovaks, and if necessary, we will take the third countermeasure.
Kyiv has not publicly confirmed those accusations. Fico says the suspension of gas supplies alone has caused Slovakia losses of around 500 million euros. The oil transit halt, he claims, has created even greater logistical and financial strain. He also criticized what he called Zelenskyy's hostile attitude toward Slovakia. And in a further sign of tension, Hungary has blocked a proposed €90 billion European Union package for Ukraine. The European Commission has acknowledged disruptions in regional fuel flows. Earlier, Slovakia's Fico accused Zelenskyy of political blackmail, as he added that Ukraine risks losing Europe's support due to its current behavior. Fico warned, adding that Slovakia might cease supplying Ukraine with electricity.
Mr. President Zelenskyy is playing with our support regarding Ukraine's European perspective. If our suspicion that this is political blackmail is confirmed, he will gradually lose our support. Also today, a SEP's representative, whom I invited concerning electricity supplies to Ukraine, was present at the government meeting. Slovakia provides what we might call, let's say, security deliveries in the event of a power grid failure in Ukraine, when they need Slovak electricity to stabilize their system. In January of this year, the volume of electricity supplied to Ukraine was so immense that it actually surpassed twice the total amount delivered throughout the entire year of 2025. This clearly indicates that these particular deliveries likely hold substantial importance for the overall electrical power system of Ukraine. If Mr. President Zelenskyy feels that this has no value, that he does not require it, then we can decide to withdraw from this cooperation regarding the supplies of electrical energy.
Energy has once again become a geopolitical weapon. Electricity, oil, diesel, all now entangled in wartime politics and European divisions. If Slovakia cuts power exports, Ukraine's already fragile energy grid could face fresh strain, as Russian forces continue to pound the grid during the freezing winters.
It's still in the air.
Where?
Judging by the sound.
He fell somewhere else.
At least 11 people were injured on Saturday after Ukrainian authorities attacked a facility in central Russia, local authorities said. A Russian independent news channel, citing eyewitness footage, identified the site as a key state-owned missile plant. According to an Associated Press report, a Russian independent telegram news channel named Astra identified the target as the Votkinsk machine building plant.
One of the facilities in Udmurtia was attacked by drones.
As a result, there is damage and casualties. They are being provided with all necessary assistance. All emergency services are currently working at the scene.
The Votkinsk factory produces Iskander ballistic missiles, often used in strikes against Ukraine, as well as nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missiles. Residents of Saransk and Votkinsk posted videos showing smoke rising over the city. Local Telegram news channels reported, however, that the smoke was seen in the area of the Electro-Vypryamidal plant, a semiconductor manufacturer sanctioned by the United States as a critical supplier to the Russian military. Ukraine's counter comes a day after one person was killed and two more injured after a Russian drone strike in Kharkiv. According to Ukraine's emergency services, fire broke out in a warehouse building of one of the civilian enterprises, covering an area of at least 3,000 square meters, roughly 32,292 square feet. In another attack, the State Emergency Service of Ukraine said on Friday that at least 3 people were injured after the latest Russian strike in Zaporizhia. An aerial bomb damaged the facade, windows, and roof of a 4-story residential building, emergency services said in a statement on social media. Russia continues to pound Ukrainian cities despite U.S.-brokered peace negotiations between the two countries.
It is important that the Europeans were present in Switzerland. This is exactly how we intend to work going forward, to ensure that Europe's positions are taken into account. I also want to thank all members of our delegation for strictly adhering to the directives during the negotiations. It is very important that Ukraine speaks confidently, strongly, and in a coordinated manner. Ukrainian unity always delivers the greatest results.
Well, the big talks, it's going to be very easy. I mean, look, so far, Ukraine better come to the table fast. That's all I'm telling you. We are in a position, we want them to come.
A new battlefield update from Moscow claims sweeping gains across eastern and southern Ukraine. Russia says 8 settlements are now under its control after a week of intensified assaults. At the same time, accusations are flying over a drone strike on a school in Energodar. As fighting escalates, diplomacy appears increasingly fragile. Russia's defense ministry says its forces have taken control of 8 communities between February 14th and 20th. According to Moscow, the advances span the Sumy region, the Zaporozhye region, and areas of the self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic. Officials describe coordinated offensive actions by multiple battle groups, each targeting different sectors of the front line. In the north, Russia says units secured Pokrovka and Kharkovka in the Sumy region. Further south, Minkovka in Donetsk was reportedly seized after what Moscow calls active operations. In the Zaporozhye direction, additional settlements, including Svetkovia, Krynichnoye, Zapasnoye, Magdalinovka, and Primorskoye, were declared under Russian control. Ukraine has not confirmed these claims, and battlefield conditions remain fluid. Moscow credits the advances to coordinated operations by battle groups north, south, east, and Dnieper. The Defense Ministry says these formations pushed deeper into Ukrainian defensive lines, consolidating positions and expanding territorial control. The Russian military frames the week as one of momentum, describing sustained pressure along multiple axes rather than a single breakthrough. The broader strategic picture, however, remains contested, with both sides continuing long-range strikes and artillery exchanges. Russia's defense ministry claims more than 1,310 Ukrainian troops were killed or wounded in the past week within the Battle Group North area of responsibility alone.
It also reports the destruction of 4 armored combat vehicles and additional military hardware. Beyond territorial claims, Moscow is also accusing Kyiv of escalating provocations. Russian officials say a Ukrainian drone strike targeted a school in Energodar, where approximately 600 children were reported present. Rodion Miroshnik, Russia's ambassador-at-large, described the strike as a deliberate attempt to derail potential peace discussions. He characterized it as a provocative act aimed at preventing negotiations from continuing.